Hi, I'm Charlie from Benevilla. Wanted to start out today by introducing you to my dog. This is Lucy. Lucy's a 13-year-old Australian Terrier. She means a lot to my wife and me, so I just wanted to introduce her to you. Here you go, Lucy. Now let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. We've got the flag here, so put your hand over your heart, and if you can stand, stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And today I have a little devotion I'd like to talk to you. It's based on the 23rd Psalm, which was written by David. I'd like to read it to you first. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restores my soul. He guides me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou dost prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. Surely goodness and loving kindness will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. In a classic book called The Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23, Philip Keller gives a striking picture of the care and gentleness of a shepherd. In verse 3, when David said, "He restores my soul," he uses language every shepherd would understand. Sheep are built in such a way that if they fall over on their backs or sides, then they cannot get back up. It is difficult for them to get up again. They fail their legs in air and bleat and cry. After a few hours on their backs, gas begins to collect in their stomach. The stomach hardens, the air passage is cut off, and the sheep will eventually suffocate. This is reference to a cast-down position. When a shepherd restores a cast-down sheep, he reassures it, manages its legs to restore circulation, gently turns the sheep over. What a picture God wants for us to see. When we are on our backs, flailing because of guilt, grief, grudges, or the virus that we're having right now, our loving shepherd reassures us with his grace, lifts us up, and holds us up until we've gained our spiritual equilibrium. If you've been cast down for any reason, God is the only one who can help you get on your feet again. He will restore your confidence, joy, and strength. Hi, this is Charlie from Benevilla, back with you, and I've got Lucy here again. She wanted to say hi to you. Say hi to him, Lucy. She's a sweet little girl, so there you go. We'll let you go down. Let's do some exercises. I want you to sit there. Get your arms out in front of you. Let's start doing push-ups. This is a good way to do push-ups, sitting in a chair. Okay, now let's do arm curls. How much weight do you have? Some of you 50 or 60 pounds. That's pretty good. I'm very proud of you. Okay, let's do some chin-ups. Oh, this is great. You all are all doing such a wonderful job. I appreciate it. Okay, bring them down. Let's do some boxing. Left, right, reach out. Left, right, reach out. Left, right, left, right. Okay, let's walk in where you're sitting. I want to hear your feet going. Let's move. Keep them going. Okay, put your arms back up here again. Let's box once more. Stretch out. Stretch out really good. Okay, I want you to take your head and turn it to the right, back to the middle. To the right, back to the middle. To the right, back to the middle. Once more to the right, back to the middle. Now to the left, back to the middle. 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 Now raise your right shoulder and move it around. Raise it again. Let's move it again around. You're doing great. It's a good way to start the morning. Now let's do our left shoulder up and around. Up and around. Up and around. Up and around. Now do both shoulders up and around. Let's go up and around. Up and around. Up and around. Up and around. Okay, put your arms out in front. Let's just cross them. One on top of the other, then switch the other way. Great job. It's a good way to start the day. Okay, you all are doing a great job. Okay, take a rest. I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask the questions and give you a few seconds, and then you say your answer yourself, then I'll give you what the answer is here. Which president of the United States was in office from 1953 to 1961? What president was in office from 1953 to 1961? You're right, it was Dwight Eisenhower. Which disease did Dr. Jonas Salk successfully create a vaccine for in 1952? Dr. Salk successfully created a vaccine in 1952. What was it? That's right, it was a polio vaccine. I'm sure a lot of you got the polio shots. What was the name of the first satellite launched into orbit by Russia in 1957? What was the first satellite launched into orbit in 1957? What was the name? Sputnik. That's right, Sputnik. Who overthrew Batista in 1959 and became the dictator of Cuba? Who became the dictator of Cuba? Fidel Castro. That's right, that's a good answer. What year did Disneyland open? What year did Disneyland open? 1955, that's correct. What is the name of the woman who refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama in 1955? What lady refused to give up her seat in 1955? Rosa Parks, that is correct. Now with some music trivia. Which famous singer sung a song? Which famous song sung by Doris Day was introduced in the 1956 Hitchcock thriller *The Man Who Knew Too Much*? What was the favorite song of Doris Day? It was "Que Sera, Sera." Which singer had a hit with 16 Tons in 1955? Who had the song in 1955, 16 Tons? That's right, it's Tennessee Ernie Ford. What Cleveland disc jockey first used the word rock and roll in 1951? Who first used the word rock and roll in 1951? Alan Freed, that's right. Who recorded Rock Around the Clock in 1955? Who recorded Rock Around the Clock in 1955? It was Bill Haley, and what was the name of his band? The Comets. So Bill Haley and the Comets. Who originally sang "That'll Be the Day" in 1957? Who originally sang "That'll Be the Day" in 1957? Buddy Holly and the Crickets. The Coasters recorded a song in 1959 with the line, "You're gonna need an ocean of calamine lotion." What's the name of this song? You're gonna need an ocean of calamine lotion. What's the name of the song? I'm sure we've always used it. Poison Ivy. Pop culture. Which aspiring rock and roll singer appeared on Ed Sullivan's show in 1956 but could only be shown from the waist up? 1956. Who was on there first time? Yes, that's right. Elvis Presley. Which rising young star from the movie Rebel Without a Cause died in an automobile accident in 1955? Which young actor died in an automobile accident in 1955? James Dean, that's right. What famous baseball player married Marilyn Monroe in 1954? Who married Marilyn Monroe in 1954? Yeah, Joe DiMaggio. What piece of women's clothing named after a dog became popular in the 1950s? What piece of women's clothing named after a dog became popular in the 1950s? Poodle skirt, that's right. What type of hat did both Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone wear on the TV shows in the 50s? Coonskin, that's right. Eating what type of live fish became popular in the 1950s? Eating what type of live fish became popular in the 1950s? Goldfish. What famous cowboy of the 50s was really named Leonard Sly? Who was named Leonard Sly? That's right, Roy Rogers. And I'll throw another one out. What famous cowboy or actor, his name was Marion Morrison? Who had his name changed? Marion Morrison. That's right, that was John Wayne's original name. And what was the name of the circular plastic 1950s toy that was placed around the waist and operated by gyrating the hips? I bet you all had it out. The hula hoop. Thank you.